Hey guys, Roast here, and I wanted to try a longer form video today to kind of take some time and talk about my why for triathlon, my training plan, my race results, and just a lot of stuff that you don't really get in my day-to-day shorts. If you guys like content like this, please let me know in the comments and with a subscribe button, and I can make this more of a weekly deal where I talk about good and bad sessions each week, and maybe a bit more on the science side or who knows what else of the sport. I wanted to get started on this video with that, why triathlon? Well, I've always been a runner, and so as always, the story is actually going to start with running and an injury. At the end of 2024, a bunch of people in my office did a half marathon, and hearing them talking about training, pace goals, all the excitement and camaraderie surrounding it really got me pumped up and really got me missing running. I decided 2025 I would run one. I found one in my city a couple months away and signed up for it. During that training, which was going super great, I overdid it by running a really long, hilly, topsy-turvy course twice. The day of, the run felt great. But the next day, I noticed my ankle was not. And I took a few days off, and it got worse. And I had pain even just like walking or standing still. So running wasn't an option. I gave it a few more days with an ankle brace, and then at the end of the week, it still wasn't good. So I went to the doctor, and when I went to the doctor, they gave me this x-ray where they said, you've got a stress fracture on your 5th metatarsal. And then they put me in a boot for a month. Now for me, this was devastating. Training so far had been great, and now just 1 month and 2 weeks out from race day, I had to be in a boot for an entire month. But much worse than that was that I had gotten into this super great routine of running 3 or 4 days a week and gym on the others, and my pace was feeling good and my gains were feeling good. And now I couldn't do that anymore, and it just all came crashing down on me. It really weighed on me mentally, and it messed me up for that month, and my schedule went to crap, and just, not good. Eventually, that month went by, and after getting cleared by the doctor, I did a few very short test runs, and actually still got to run the half marathon. Not the whole time, I did run walks, and I fell during, ate shit while running over a curb. And I ran it. Sadly, not within my goal of 2 hours, but at this point, I was just happy to be able to run it and finish it at all. And for those of you who are wondering, my time ended up being like 2:03 something. So almost sub 2, but not quite. I can talk about that race another day too, because it was supposed to be outside, ended up being in a parking garage. Whole mess. But that's for another day. A week or two after that race, at a weekly pub run I do, a friend of mine mentioned how he was helping organize a local triathlon and told me and a couple others the details. Now at the time, I had zero intention of running that race, but then a few more coincidences happened. The big one being that a friend of mine got injured and had to stop running altogether they had a tendonitis of some kind. And then another friend at work mentioned wanting to swim and bike with friends, and that's what that other friend was doing too. So I thought to myself, what if, to prevent injury, I cross-train a bit more? You know, not necessarily doing any races, but maybe I'll go swim, maybe I'll try biking. That'd be good, right? Because that way, it'll be harder for me to get injuries, since the load I would normally put into running, and specifically on my ankles and my knees, is instead spread out over all my body's muscles. So my arms and shoulders get work, my core gets work, and my thighs and the rest of my legs get work instead of just those running muscles, right? So back in April, end of April, I went on my first few swims. I had to learn how to swim, by the way. Never did any stroke besides doggy paddle ever before in my life. And I also started looking for a road bike and a bike trainer, which eventually I got off Facebook Marketplace in like June, right? So a while later, but now I officially had a bike, a place to swim, and I did actually sign up for that race. So we can finally get to the real why of the triathlon. And it's kind of a crappy why, honestly. It's not like super inspiring or anything. But the real why for me is just to improve without getting injured. I want to become fitter than I ever was before, and as fit as I possibly can without getting injured. I just want to see how fast I can go, really. So since I'm just starting, right, in biking and swimming especially, I know I can only go up. And for running, I did run in high school, so I have an idea of where I can get to, I hope, and something I'd like to surpass, you know? I have my old high school 5K times that I'd like to beat at some point in the future. But anyways, the early plan for most triathlon, I think, is you want to get to 2 runs, 2 swims, and 2 bikes in each week. For me, at the start, it was just 1 a week. I wanted to build this schedule slowly. So first, it was 1 swim, 1 bike, 1 run each week. And as I found time, as I felt comfortable, as my muscles gained a bit of strength and endurance, I started adding in a little more each week until I got to 3 bikes, 3 runs, and 2 swims a week. And I can talk about why I split it like that, but TLDR, biking would save me the most time race day between the 3 things, and biking and running, I think, help your aerobic endurance more. But anyways, I kept doing this training of 3-3-2 until race day with a focus on that bike for speed, and on race day, I really felt like it came through. My first race was the Huntsville Sprint Triathlon on August 9th. That was a 400-meter pool swim, an 8-mile bike, and a 3-mile run to finish it off, or a 5K. My training and all of my test runs, rides, and swims paced me to run it in 1 hour and 3. So that was my goal, because I hadn't really done transitions and I didn't know how that would go. So that was my goal to beat, was 1:03. And before that, my goal had been 1 hour, but seeing my times and how I felt on various group rides and stuff, I just didn't think that was possible, genuinely. Lo and behold, come race day, I actually went crazy fast. I had a 9:45 swim, which is like a 2:20 or 2:17 per 100 meters, which is way faster than I go in training. I had a 25-minute bike, which means I was going 19.5 miles an hour. Again, way faster than I go in training. And a 23-minute run, which was like 7:30, 7:40 pace. Not that insane, but given I had just done 40 minutes of activity, pretty solid, which gave me a final finish time of 59:39, because I spent less than 2 minutes in transition, which was also, I was super happy with, right? But yeah, after that race, since I knew I wouldn't be ready for the closest Ironman 70.3 in time in September, I decided to go back into running as a focus and try for a sub-2 half marathon. And once that's done, next year, maybe sometime between February and May, I'm going to look to sign up for a 70.3 Ironman to attempt once I'm trained up enough. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave questions and thoughts in the comments below, and until next time, keep it beefy.
Hello there.